why is it important to boost your circulation and warm your body? Well, in the first place, we need to get you into a space where your body is ready to take on more load and be more active. So we need to, rather than just get you to exercise, we need to gradually warm the body up. And that involves warming up the muscles. It involves warming up between the joints, so you're all nice and lubricated and good to go, but also in your head too. So the importance of warming up the body is also, I am about to exercise, so I need this bit first. So we never rush when we come into starting being a bit more active. Right. So what we're going to do is think about top to toe. Let's have a look at, or toe to top, let's have a look at how we would warm up the body. And we always start, or prefer to start, with self-supporting spine or a great posture. Pat is demonstrated in standing. I will be in seated. So in the first place, so over-exaggerated, poor posture. You know, we see it quite a lot, how people sit. We need to think about how strong we can make your spine. So think about shoulders back and down. And you might need to roll your shoulders just a few times to get you into that space. Think about your backs away from the back of the chair. Your feet, the foot placement. So in order to really maximize your spine and to get you into really good position, we like your feet in a straight line, in what we would call neutral, so they're not out or in. We need to think about your hips, so they're not tucked under or your bottom sticking out. So we need to think about just getting to a place where everything feels like a soldier, strong and tall and long, chin just gently lowered and slightly set back, so we've got a lovely long space in the neck. And we think about zipping up through our center, so we're nice and tight through our center, breathing in, breathing out nice and comfortably, slowly at your pace. So it's almost like this is the shop bought model. That's how we start. Everything's long and strong, so that's your starting position. When you got there, a nice tip, I like to work bottom to top to bottom, or maybe mixing it up. But think about the joints. And in the first place, we love a heel lift. None of this needs to take time, but this will just help boost your circulation. Lifting the heels away from the ground. This allows you to sway a little in standing. You'll feel it in the back of your legs and around your knee joints, hip joints. And naturally, your arms will come into a little swinging, like little formation. It's lovely. Drawing your belly in towards your backbone. That's quite nice. So you're still thinking tall like a soldier. Think of that presentation, or tall like a ballerina, but somebody who holds themselves well. That's what we're trying to aim to achieve. Now, whilst you're doing this, your blood is pushing quicker around your body, which accelerates your heart rate a little bit. And actually, that is all part of the boosting of your circulation. Lovely. Okay, so if you want to, you can rest your heels or you can keep them moving, but now I'm going to ask you to roll your shoulders. We tend to carry a lot of stress here in the shoulders, so spend time here. You may have niggles here. If you're finding both circles at the same time is a bit of a challenge, work through one then the other. That's quite nice. And notice where anything feels tight in your body. Notice how you're responding to the movement, watching out if there's pain.
What do we do if there's pain, Helen?
Well, it depends what type of pain we're dealing with. If it's because we're restricted and it's areas that we haven't targeted previously, then work to the point of pain, not through it. because that's never makes you feel good, if that makes sense.
But if it's stiff, it's okay.
If it's stiff, start smaller and work on making it bigger. Okay. All right, so we've put a little bit of energy into the shoulders. Now let's think about the neck as well. So the shoulders are starting to lubricate. Just simple actions like ear to shoulder and back up again. Check, strong, long, zipped up, shoulders back, ear to shoulder on the other side. Notice where the tightness is. Reset, reset, think about your alignment. How does it all feel? And again.
And I'm in standing, so my knees are soft. I've not kind of locked them out. They're not really stiff.
Yeah,
They're
so
like, I'll go to the side. So
yeah, and just do what makes you feel comfortable. If you lock out your knees, it changes the emphasis on your hip and your back and your bottom. So try and stand, and always, you know, a bit of support. If there's a sideboard, or you can rest your hand on another chair, do whatever it is. Try to do what's right for you and move well. Okay. Okay, and reset. I'd like you to put your chin down to your chest. Now, stay with me on this one. If you want to hold on to something, that's fine. Your eye gaze is downwards. Draw your chin backwards onto your chest if you can. Chin or multiple chins. I'm only joking. Shoulders back. Look down now. Look forward to me and pump your heels, because I want you to make sure you feel balanced and you feel comfortable, okay? Lovely. Now we're going to look up. So this time, nice and steady, take your time. If you're feeling unwell, stop. So looking up, come back to centre. Lovely. Okay, so let's revisit the heel pumping. This never has to be fast. What I'd like you to do, using a bit of support, if you're sat, that's fine. Let's think about just lifting one leg at a time. This starts to target into the hips a little bit. We've got a bit of, you know, I'm just trying to mix it up for you and finding things that you might find comfortable. Okay, and rest out. And now what I'd like you to do is just step and step. So we're doing some side steps, step together, step together. So when we are boosting the circulation, this is the same thing. We're thinking about increasing the heart rate, also thinking about your space around you, because when we are being a little bit more active, we don't want you to bump into things. So this helps us with our spatial awareness too. Okay, lovely. Right, so to those in seated, we are going to do a hip walk forward. Now this is a bit of a funny one in stand, but if you work on just wiggle jiggle your hips side to side and around, they work as well. So perhaps going side to side with the hips and then a circle. Now that's quite a challenge to do that in sit. So I would encourage a sit, a hip walk forward and a hip walk backwards. Now this involves lifting each bum cheek off the chair and then shifting forward. Notice the whole body is involved with this movement, whether you're in sit or stand. This is a vital movement that you can use to warm the body. And when I say vital, what happens is we lubricate these areas of the body, and over time this becomes more comfortable and actually could get you to a place of safety. Right, so let's pump the arms, a little bit more power here, stretching the fingers in front of you, pump the heels if you want to. You can hear by my tone and the pace that I'm starting to get you from a place of quietness and stillness to more active. This is all about that boosting of your circulation, and pottering is a good thing to keep you nice and warm. But we think about those joints, we think about the ankles. Now, rest your arms. I just want you to do a little heel dig. It's what they're known for. So striking the heel forward and resetting, heel forward and reset. Well done. Okay, so again, it's important to get lubrication. So we've got the joints working really nice and well around the ankle. We've been step touching as well. That keeps you nice and warm. So, and if we get the joints functioning well, then we can do more when we get into the full exercise component. But from a warming the body point of view, all of this stuff is really lush. Okay, now we've thought about legs. Finally, what I'd like you to do, feet in a wide stance, we're going to look at slowly bringing yourself down to one side and upright, and the other side and upright. Nice and tall, belly in. Take your time with this. Now at the moment, I'm just saying down the side seams of your clothes, that's where we're leaning. You may feel this in your back. Think about your tension on in your center. Lovely. Okay, what if you went slightly forward down your thighs and slightly backwards down your thighs? So there's more of a twist to the movement. All of this is targeting into the spine. All of this is it's just really nice. And hopefully you're feeling well. You might be feeling a bit more warm now and lovely and lubricated. Lovely. Okay. So this is getting us that side movement. Now what I'd like to do, we're in a place where we can start to rotate. And that's what touching down the front and back of your thighs starts to do. From here, what I'd like you to do is to start to twist and look over one shoulder. Now for many, this can be a challenge, and it's something that I'd encourage to practice, providing you feel well. Notice where those niggles are and find that point of ooh, or that point of ah. Notice how your shoulder blades feel when you rotate and look over your shoulders. You don't have to rush it. Take your time when you perform this movement. Last few. And you can change where your hands are if you want to point in the direction you're twisting towards. Lovely, do that, see how that feels. And if that is a movement that is making you feel good, do more of it, because ultimately we want you to sit less and move more. Okay, so we're hoping now that you feel nice and warm. You have two options. You can leave this as it is, or you can join us for further activity to help you stay steady on your feet.